Hey there. Welcome back to the Fanboy Cantina. Thanks for joining us early on what day is today? I don't even know what day is today. The day after Free Comic Book Day. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your Sunday with us. And as always, we're thrilled to have Mr. C. Mr. C, how are you doing today?
Happy to be here. Always glad to make a stop over in the cantina. I've got some beverage reference to be consuming within the cantina. For Fox's sake. Yes, of
Yes, well,
course.
for fuck's sake. My Doctor Strange mug, actually. It does appear in yeah, anyways. So Mr. C, how are you doing? What was your how have the past? It's been a while since our last chat, so I don't know where to start. How have you been?
Been good. Looking forward. As I was just saying before we went live.
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
in the Windy City, the city of the winds. Looking forward to the warmth coming to be able to spend some more time outdoors. Clearly, I'm in the outdoor studio right here today. A little warmer than I expected. So now I don't want to say be careful of the thing you ask for, but like be ready to adapt to the thing you were looking forward to. So here I am adapting.
It looks like a very nice day. It's been a while since I've been to the Cantina outdoor studio, but which is now expanded to not just being the Fanboy Cantina studio. It's
Yeah,
the
it's
Mr.
also
C Dives In studio.
I got to come up with a more clever name than the Dive In Studio, but we're referencing yesterday, Chai Star
Uh-huh.
and Junkyard and me. We realized that the birthday of Superdog is coming up here on May 9th. So we're after Comic Book Day, we're after May the 4th, but we're not yet to the birthday of Superdog for May 9. So we thought, well, it would be fitting for the 75-year birthday of local
Hmm.
hot dog stand Superdog if we made it to their other location in in Wheeling. So that's on the Chris Conley, Mr. C Dives In channel. We just did a little episode on that yesterday. Maybe if we're smooth enough, we'll post a link. But always good to hang out with Chai Star. Always good to hang out with Junkyard, and uh, and always good to be back here. Not Sweet Home Chicago, but Sweet Home Cantina.
There you go. There you go. So, Free Comic Book Day is the first Saturday of May. For first Saturday of May, it's been going for a number of years. An event that we look forward to every year, and hopefully you too, as well out there. Um, I hit three comic book stores while I was out and about yesterday. How about you, Mister C?
Well, I hit two.
Okay.
But I gotta say, if not for the hot dog stand, I might have been able to hit 3 or 4. But that doesn't mean I want to time machine and retroactively adjust my choice. I'm good with one hot dog stand and one bonus stop after the hot dog stand and with two comic shops. I'm good with the way it panned out.
And did you go by yourself? Did you bring family? How did it work out for your outing?
Historically,
Yeah.
family, the three of us, we would go. As it turns out, young people grow to be older than what they used to be,
Yeah.
and then they develop other interests.
Yeah.
So I got to respect the other interests. So I was a soloist in the
I
comic
understand.
shop, and many a time in my life have I been a soloist in the comic shop, and many a time have we gone together as part of you and me or part of a greater crew. So many varieties on the ways in which one can have a good time at the comic shop.
Yeah. This year, so previous years, I've gone with, I've taken both my kids. I have two kids. And this year, my daughter had another commitment. So she did not join me and my son. But me and my son, we hit two stores together. When it came to the topic of going to the third, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay at home. So, which was fine, which was fine. It was a busy day already. Um, cool. All right. So I went to three comic shops, and I'm struggling right now because I'm trying to get to said comic shops. One of which is the Escapist, which is a comic book store in Berkeley, California. Really nice, little smaller place, but an enormous selection at this particular shop. And they've got not just, obviously, like new stuff and new comics, but then they also have a second floor with back issues, vintage comics. So that's always kind of special to check out, gems like that.
You got a place with a basement where you go down for the other stuff, or an upstairs where you go up for the other stuff. And again, it's simple pleasures. Maybe I'm easily bemused, but
Yep.
I really enjoy having a second deck, one way or the other. Sounds
Right.
and I would speculate now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't
Yeah.
been inside the Escapist.
Yeah.
We went to other shops back at the time when I was around in your neck of the woods. Just off the top of my head, Escapist. Well,
Mm-hmm.
entertainment can be escapism.
Uh-huh.
The escapist could be a little referential towards good old Houdini, who
Oh
was an
yeah.
escapist. And now I'm going to draw a blank on it was the actual literary work going back, I don't know, 20. What the guy had the author was writing like golden age of comics, a fiction on that. And I'm not going to be very articulate in it now, but whatever the lead character was, maybe either the escapist or he was based on a Houdini like way of that. That was the fiction within the fiction, the story within the
Oh.
story. The comic character, double layered inside this fiction, was an escape guy. So, just the name of it, it sounds like it's got a whole good set of implications to it.
It's a great comic book store. It's a great comic book store. The people who work there are really nice, really helpful. It's a great spot. The other place that I stopped at is new to me. I just happened to be in that area, which is where's the okay, there it is. Alameda Sports Cards and Comics in Alameda, California. Really nice shop. As its name, it's got a lot of sports cards and other stuff, as well as comic books. A little bit more spacious, not so much in the there are a bunch of back issues and stuff. I like that it had not just comics and cards, but also other toys. That's fun for me. I like checking that out. They also had some really old 1/6 scale toy carded stuff, which was not something you always see. Um, oh, and then the last place that I visited is Flying Colors Comics, and I'm just trying to pull up the picture here. So, Flying Colors Comics is in, I think this is Concord, California, and it is special because this is the birthplace of Free Comic Book Day. Joe Field is a comic book shop owner. He's a event promoter, and he had the idea to create Free Comic Book Day. So it was. This is a wonderful shop. This is a really wonderful shop. Great mix of new and old, and so it was wonderful to be able to stop by the shop on the day that Joe Field had created for all of us to celebrate. So where did you hit, Mr.
I
C?
didn't set a visual reference as well as you did on that. I won't hold up a hot dog now because that's a totally separate thing. But so en route back from
Yeah.
Superdog Wheeling, I first stopped at Pastime Comics right off of Milwaukee and Golf,
Nice.
local to Niles over here. Made a few pickups there, and then worked my way back again through the Skokie area to Oh Yeah Comics. A great many of my historical comic day, free comic book day visits have been Oh Yeah Comics, and the again, you can't beat it for the style, the hospitality, and just the fun vibe you have going in.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, it's all about the experience, right? Do you yeah, we're gonna step into childhood trauma, but like
All right.
when we were growing up, it's inescapable. When we were growing up, you had different types of comic shops. Some of them were more hospitable than others, and it was what it was. It's just sort of you couldn't escape certain places because they had a lot of comics. Yeah.
I very much appreciate the new generation, and new is a relative term, but let's say from say '90s and on, the new generation of comic shop owner who grew up reading comics relatively close in age to us, give or take a few years on one side or the other as the plane goes over again. I very much appreciate the hospitality of the new generation comic shop owner compared to, say, the old school. And again, there were variations. Somebody's going to be more of pure comics. Somebody's going to be comics and movie posters and or baseball cards and sports cards. But within the variety of products, there was slight variation in the old school way, but for the most part, it would be a curmudgeonly person. The reason the Simpsons character of comic book guy exists as he does is a very good representation of a curmudgeonly old generation comic shop owner. So yeah, having starting off with at the drugstore or the 7-Eleven, and then
Yep.
that was a fine interaction. Moving
Yep.
your way into the specialty shop, then when it was, you wanted the product, you had some enjoyment of the game day, the in-store experience, but then there was always it'd be a little hesitant around the shop owner. Uh, so as we sit here now, two grown men of our years,
Yeah.
not so bad to be able to go in and have like a completely or nearly completely enjoyable shop experience in the shop.
That's right. That's right. Yes. The accoutrement, the service, what was the oh man, I'm blanking on the food guy back in Chicago. What was his the chow chow for now guy. Anyway, the circuses is what he would sometimes bread and circuses. So having the bread and circuses of the comic book experience being less creepy is nice. It's nice.
Absolutely.
So, how did you fare? What comics did you pick up, and any that you would speak of that you've taken a look at? I've got a short stack here.
Uh, okay, let me go through the freebies first, and then we'll go into. Don't tell me I left the ones I actually read in the house, but that's okay. I can still speak on them.
That's all right.
All right. So on the freebie side,
Uh-huh.
again, having recently been connected to wacky packs and a little bit of dabbling once in a while again here and there with a vintage Mad magazine stuff. So the Madball versus Garbage Pail Kid caught my eye. Again, interesting that your spots were putting the stamp. None of the spots around here put their stamp, their shop stamp, or their contact info in there. So haven't read it yet, but again, just that Mad magazine style humor. As we're just coming off of a May the 4th, I thought let me dip in a little bit into the Star Wars High Republic. Again, this is some territory that I'm have very minimal. I haven't checked it out that much, so that's the point of free. Get a little free sample of what might. Jack Skellington used to get a lot of holiday time in this house. Again, as younger people grow older, they get different tastes, but it doesn't hurt to revisit a little bit of Jack and the Oogie Boogie. Again, just a quick little art sample here. It's a well put together book. I'm going to speculate that all the shops in all the land haven't given away all of the free books, so it's possible, if any of these things are of interest to somebody, they could find their way to a shop that may still have the free giveaway material. And now this one of the freebies is the one that's of most interest to me. It's the I Am Stan. So Tom Scully has his own YouTube channel, TRS, Total Recall Show. And his previous work was a visual biography on Jack Kirby. So as he had taken time to, see, there's Jack right there, I think, with the cigar and Jack and Stan. So he has a full actual book out, and so this in comic form is an excerpt of I Am Stan. So whether you're looking at Tom on his own channel or on the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel, he's an independent comic artist himself, and so I'm of the freebies, that's the one I'm looking the most forward to. How about you? How did your pickups? Out of your three shops, how did your pickups go?
Yeah, so with Free Comic Book Day, you can't just like get everything. The math in this, the economics is such that the comic book store does need to pay for buy these comics to participate in free comic book day. So it's not, coming just from the distributor or anything like that. It is an expense. So uh, e- typically when you're going to free comic book day, it's limited to maybe you get 3 comics or 4 or 5 comics, and it's per person. So since my son and I hit a couple of these places, we were able to get a broader spectrum of comic books. Um, and just to do the audible here, how is my connection Wi-Fi wise? Is it jacked up? Am I clear enough?
I
Is
got
it all
zero
right?
evidence of jacked up. I got no buffering, no
All right.
stuttering. And as
Okay.
far as I can tell, we're
We're
clear like
okay. All right.
we're in
Well,
the
good
clear.
enough. Okay. So I'm gonna just I'm not gonna do the entire stack, but instead I just have a shorter stack on my lap here. So what I did pick up, just like you, Mr. C, the Star Wars High Republic comic. Uh, it's it's okay in that it has both the Star Wars story as well as an Avatar: The Last Airbender story in it. So it's a little truncated. Also, Girl Taking Over. This is a Lois Lane. I think it's going to be a graphic novel comic. Um, the others I picked up here, just like you, I picked up I Am Stan, the Tom Scioli comic book, as you already described. Uh, I'm a fan of this series, Marvel Voices, a platform for allowing more diverse voices to appear in comics, and so I do enjoy that. Um, and oh yes, and another one, Mister C. I picked up the Battle for the Pumpkin King, figuring that maybe you and I would be chatting about this at some point. So I did pick this thing up. Um, and then with the first comic book shop, when I went to the Alameda card shop, they had a specific area where they said, these are for really adults, and then there's these others that are for more all ages. And it was the first time that I can recall where that was specifically called out of here's usually at least at the escapist there's a table where it's more the littler kids friendly comics, and then you've got kind of everything else, and so having it carved out of here's stuff that's really not meant for children um, was kind of different. So the 3 comics that I picked up in that vein are the Frazetta Conan the Barbarian, and Fish Flies. So those are among the comics that I picked up.
Those are interesting picks. I'm going to speculate there's going to be some overlap between the Frazetta and Conan, but I
Yeah.
look forward to, instead of going in the sampler mode that we're going in right now, look forward to getting the full scoop on those in the coming days.
Yeah. Yeah. So so those are and then I've got other ones. I got my son picked up Crime Buster at the at Flying Colors Comics. The way that it's set up is all of the free comics are behind a counter, so you got to like be in the moment and pick the comic that you want. And since there was the last comic shop that I had been to, I I, I had an opinion about 1 or 2 of them, and then after that, I kind of didn't. I didn't have a strong opinion, and I could have just walked away. Just take the 2. You don't have to get all 4, whatever. And then, so as I was stammering, trying to figure out, well, what do I want for the 4th comic? Dude said, "How about Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers?" And I'm like, "Okay, fine, sure, yeah."
It's got
So
some alliteration there.
yeah, it's from clearly a different time, a different, probably before mine. Um, it is helpful to look at the comics, you know, thumb through and then make it this call like, So I don't know if this is one I would have picked up had I allocate more time. Anyways, so any of them that you've read that you'd
Well,
do
the rest,
commentary.
I'll come to that in a second. So the I didn't picked up but didn't open yet, didn't get to yet. I was
Yeah.
at pastime. I was jumping around in the back bins,
Oh,
and as we've had various success with Green Hornet in different times and in different places, let me get
yep.
him right up in there. Yeah, so just I'm not familiar with this artist, or at least I don't know who the cover artist is, but looks great. It has some pulp influence to it. And again, as we got used to Green Hornet first through the TV, his
Yeah.
mask was more the domino mask or the top half of the face, but the traditional classic way of Green Hornet was the other half of the face mask down there covering the mouth and all that.
Hmm.
So I'm looking. I'm hoping this has got some. It's a double sized premiere issue published by Now Comics. Definitely not one of the major
Way back.
major.
Right.
However, that's the whole point of it. You know, if we're going to stick to just the two big big spots, there's other stuff out there to check out and influence or check. You know, there's other stuff that's worth checking out.
No,
That being
absolutely,
said,
absolutely.
my other
Oh,
pickup that so mostly I was a Marvel guy at this time, but I did end up picking the Roy Thomas JSA, well, not the JSA, but the All Star Squadron books for a good amount of time. And so I did get kind of into the character of Steel. And this would also be around the time that the Justice League had moved into Detroit. So the Detroit Justice League, uh, again, I was so very on the Marvel side, but something about those books for a while I couldn't resist them. So this was of that era. So I thought I'd pick that one up. Those are the ones I haven't checked out yet. But what I did pick up and I did actually read and what I did actually have a good time of checking out, as long as we're on DC, I'll stay DC and then I'll swing back to Marvel. There's a relatively recent Doom Patrol, and I guess it's under the banner of the Dawn of DC. So again, gotta admit when we don't know stuff, I was not familiar with. I for the first time yesterday was the first time I'm learning that Dawn of DC is a thing to run across the top of the books or a theme or a the current system that they're utilizing. So Doom Patrol, I can't say which volume it is because Doom Patrol's had many incarnations over time, but this was just a fun book. They're okay, so non spoilers, they're going into Gotham. So can you speculate for me who might have been a guest star
uh-oh. Am I stuck?
or
Uh-oh.
you're frozen? Okay, now you're all right.
I
Rigo.
can't speculate. I can't speculate. Who?
Okay. Well, let me see. If there was any comic story set in Gotham City, who would you
Yes.
speculate to be the focus of that book?
Comic shop?
Okay. So with picking
Yes.
up a comic book, and if the
Yes.
setting of that comic book is Gotham City, what caped and cowled figure might you expect to see inside a comic book set inside Gotham?
Uh yeah, Nightwing.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, so Batman and Robin make a quick little guest
Yeah.
cameo that they
Okay.
are interacting with Doom Patrol, but it's very few pages for Batman. It's a lot of pages for Doom Patrol. You got your Robot Man, you got your Elastic Woman, historically known as Elastic Girl, and
Uh-huh.
you got Negative Man or Negative Spirit, and some other characters also. I'm a big fan of the original incarnate. Anyway, so I had a good time on the Doom Patrol book. And then I picked up not a new book, but as we can see, I'm wearing my Thunderbird T-shirt for the
Nice.
Marvel character Thunderbird. So roughly a year ago, I guess they called it giant size, and right there, it wasn't actually legit giant size. Like it was standard number of pages, and it wasn't a larger form. Anyway, so they said it was giant size X-Men Thunderbird issue one.
Uh-huh.
And so, roughly a year ago, within the X Men storyline, the long dead character of Thunderbird was brought back to life. So, these things can be controversial. For example, at the time that Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, was brought back to life after having been in the
Yep.
storyline in comics dead for the longest time, some people were like, why are we going in this way? Why? But as it turns out, bringing Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, back to life, gave us on the pages, and then on the movie screen, a lot of a good character and a good interaction with the others. So I'm
Hmm.
going to say I don't know how much utilization the character of John Proudstar has had since that year ago, but his issue one, what I'm coming to say is, I had a good read of it. I had a good time of it. It's definitely like I was, and I am a big fan of this traditional outfit that he's wearing. The current outfit or the current costume of the character is supposed to have more actual uh, native representation, native symbolism, like just the color of turquoise. And again, I'm speaking as not a knowledgeable person, but I'll give the comic a second and a third read. I really, really liked the John Proudstar book. I don't know what they've done with the character over the course of the last year, but I was glad that it just that as I'm scanning the shelves, I was glad that that issue jumped out at.
No, that's great. That's great. And um, um, just to derail
Hey!
this comment. So, hey there, Jim Campbell. Thanks for being here. And yes, this is live.
Oh,
Blue, Blue Sasquatch. Um, my internet is kind of funky right now because, and so we do this every time. Usually before, where I switch the Wi-Fi signal in my place, so I'm on the wrong one at the moment, which does not help. So I, unlike you, I picked up new comics for the most, and I picked up entirely new comics. My son picked up a Shang-Chi trade paperback, also a Swamp Thing comic, or it was oddly large sized um, comic. I haven't seen that format before. Yes, that's right. Time for the cup of coffee in the morning. And then I picked up a stack of comics. And I went to different as I went to different comic shops. I started picking up more comics. I picked up more comics at the first shop, and then as I continued through the day, it was like I was kind of struggling to find stuff to get, but I did find stuff. So I picked up um, this Marvel comic, Demon Wars: The Iron Samurai. This is
oh,
kind of this manga kind of treatment to uh, Marvel characters. Also thought this was slightly funny of the White Savior comic. So we'll see what that's about. Um, Captain Britain, and I think this is actually it may be Captain Carter as Captain Britain. I don't know enough what's going on here, so I'm curious. Issue one here, a little dog-eared in the corner, but it's free comic book day. I'm gonna still pick it up. As you know, I have an affinity for the Usagi Yojimbo franchise or character. Um, I typically don't like crossover comics. Like it usually does both characters a disservice. But I'm curious. I'm curious, so I picked it up, and it's free comic book day. I also picked up this. So Keanu Reeves is one of the authors, creators behind this Berserker comic, and this is issue 12. Um, as you know, one of the problems that I have, Mr. C, is that I buy comics and I never get around to reading them. It's like
yes.
it's a real big problem. So I got issue one and two somewhere in my house. I haven't gotten to yet, and yeah. So, but I picked up 12. I also picked up a couple of other Star Wars titles. Doctor Aphra. Um, I do enjoy this comic book. I do enjoy this line. Um, I have fallen out of the series. I think I stopped 10 issues ago, but I'm interested to pick it up again. I don't know what this Star Wars Revelations comic series is, but this is issue one. Also picked up uh, Captain America Cold War. Um, I know nothing about this thing, but I do enjoy Captain America. I love the Brubaker run. Uh, got me back into comics when it came out. The whole Winter Soldier arc, So if there's a moment where I'm struggling, what to pick up, it's going to be Captain America more often than not. And then two last things on my end. Um, This is a reprint of issue 1 of Spawn. I have the original one somewhere of issue 1 of Spawn. I think it may be worth something, but I haven't read this comic in since it came out. So for what is it, for $1? See, this is what I love of being able to, to the extent that comic manufacturers, publishers are able to do this, where you've got back issues and able to reprint it at an affordable pickup price. This is like a no-brainer for me. Of, I'll look at it again. And then the last thing. So I was at my boys at my son's soccer thing, and I was talking with this other soccer dad, and talked about Free Comic Book Day. You're going to go to Free Comic Book Day and stuff like that. And he mentioned Descender. And so he called out Descender for the artwork, the watercolor work, and the fine pencils. It just looks right up my alley. So as he was describing kind of the aspects of the story and the quality of the artwork, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. This was a struggle to find, actually.
I was, and I am unfamiliar with that book, but I just saw across the top it says Jeff Lemire. Mm-hmm. So Jeff Lemire had been on Moon Knight, and a good, for those of us that are into seeing the paper or the comicsology, adaptations or incarnations of this material, the Jeff Lemire Moon Knight stuff cannot be beat. But also for those of us that watched Moon Knight on the streaming on Disney Plus, a lot of the Lemire material was hinted at or incorporated into what we saw there. If I can jump back earlier to one of your earlier holdups, Peach Momoko was across the top of there. So again, I don't have a great volume or great knowledge of this artist, but definitely is involved with with Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg, again, independent cartoonists as they call themselves, and they have the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel. So Peach Momoko has definitely done some of the covers on Ed Piskor's books, and I believe on Jim Rugg's books also. But it's just, again, there's, back in the day, getting a little news flyer or what have you was the thing, or catching live banter in a comic shop was the thing. Then came Wizard Magazine, and okay, so yes, there were other magazines around, Comics Journal and stuff, but like as far as Poppy, as far as a height of a popularity. But now, with the benefit of the YouTube, to be able to see actual independent, Chuck Dixon has a channel. These guys, so there are so many actual creators that are so able to, you're so able to interact with them, be it on a social media or through their YouTube channel. It's something to appreciate, being in the current time, in the current space that we are, to get the inside scoop, the behind the scenes, the DVD extra, the backstage pass kind of stuff from just hearing people talk more, banter more, or drop more hints, or market more with the material that they're generating.
Yeah, no, that is really nice. Through the wonders of YouTube, being able to talk with creators or see creators live and getting their stories, that's everything. I just got one more thing, one more pickup. So I did also get this. This is Teen Titans Go, but it's signed by Sarah Lever. I think that's how you say her name. And she's Louver. And she was at the Free Comic Book Day event at Flying Color Comics. I think I froze up. Anyway, so she was at the Flying Color Comics event, so that was a nice pickup for me.
Now,
all right, yeah.
Well, here we go. So that's covering the comics. Let me say it. So a non-comic thing, again, Oh Yeah Comics is a local legend here, and in addition to comics themselves, there's comic art. It's just as I was speaking on. And so again, the Word Balloon YouTube channel is run by John Suntress, and John has the Oh Yeah Comics guys as regulars because they're good pals. They're always on the YouTube on the Word Balloon doing stuff. So there's Art. Art Baltazar is the proprietor, is one of the main players of All Yeah Comics. So I'm in there and I say, no, getting John Suntress sometimes goes by shaky because he shakes his head a lot. So, again, being impressed with the level of banter and the hospitality and the friendliness, especially in contrast of an old school comic proprietor. So I'm in All Yeah Comics and I say to Art, hey, where's Shaky? Shouldn't he be here with a camera and a microphone live streaming on Word Balloon what's going on in the shop? And then just instantly Art says back, oh, he's down the street over at Challenger with a competing comic book shops. It's a good across town from All Yeah Comics. So it was good banter, but so I appreciated that interaction. And this,
Oh.
as it says here, is into the Gucci verse. So center again, the left and right. So center screen here is the Gucci Nana, and this is just to me. I'm going to get a little sappy, a little sentimental here. It's to me, it's a heartwarming story. So if your job is you're a comic creator and you have kids around your house and you're both making your own comics and you have your own brick and mortar comic shop and your kid is around and seeing what's going on and then your kid in their younger years at the time, this goes back many years now, says, I want to, come up with a character, the Gucci Nana, who's going to have some interactions with Bigfoot and be very mysterious. Is it transportation? Is it the power to cloud people's minds? But the Gucci Nana is a very mysterious cryptozoological character. And so it's just that's, again, when going back a few years around this house, we'd be making a lot of Gucci Nana related jokes. But again, just having a good piece of banter, whether it's at the Comic Con or at the comic shop. And so just I could not leave the store without picking this up. And again, we got the little signature, right down there. And then I guess Anthony, I'm not familiar with Anthony, but he assembled a poster and put it together. So got a couple of signatures, and that was good. And then if I can jump the bridge into other material, so not from Comic Shop Day, but as we recently were on my channel,
Mm-hmm.
again.
Oh.
So arrived then in the mail, after we featured Nicole Hoff, and this is her most recent work, Barbie Godzilla. But so just like Monsterologist, just like so many other things, as good as it looks online, it looks even better in person. So this is it just pops more. So I have to say, this is just great to be the recipient of Barbie and Godzilla over here. And if I can jump into one other piece, you were very thorough on your May the 4th coverage. It's a well-viewed annual thing. There's one item, my friend. One item that you might not have covered is the Star Wars vinyl tablecloth. Okay, so
Nice.
you were super thorough and super good. But so, and I don't have the camera set up here, but this around here, St. Patrick's Day related tablecloth will go on the table come March, and then shortly after that, when we get around May the 4th, the Star Wars vinyl tablecloth finds its way to the table.
That is great. That's really great. That's a nice piece. Yeah, Star Wars Day was fun in my house. It was some commerce of taking advantage of some deals. But yeah, no, that's great. That is great. I watched Star Wars, the first episode of season 2 of Star Wars Visions, and it's very good. It was very good. The episode is called Sith, so looking forward to watching more of that. I have some stuff still on the way, some Lego toys on the way in the mail, so looking forward to that. Yeah, the beginning of May is kind of like you've got May the 4th, you got Star Wars Day, you got Free Comic Book Day. In other traditions, you got Cinco de Mayo, or which is also Boys' Day in Japan, or Children's Day in other parts of Asia, and it's so much happening. It's kind of a cool time, kind of good. Well, so I know we're at like the 40-minute mark. Just one thing to to build on here. So even though Free Comic Book Day was yesterday, it is great to support your local comic shop, whether they've got free comic books or not. Some of them may still have, stacks of issues to still give away. So if you're interested in some of these comics, you might hit up your local comic shop to see what they have available. And with the stack that I got, they tell good stories for the most part. I like the 6 or 7 that I've had a chance to read, and with this one, with the Nightmare Before Christmas, this is not my thing usually, but it actually does, of the comics that I read, I think the best job of teeing up the premise of it and getting you interested into the rest of the series. So yeah, I liked. Oh, and actually, since you mentioned it, I hadn't been paying attention. So Jeff Lemire did write Fish Flies here, this other comic that I picked up, and the artwork quality is really remarkable. It's really strong in this thing. Story wise, I kind of don't know where it's going, but yeah, it's good stuff.
That would be one of Lemire's consistent ways, because that's part of keeping everybody guessing and having a lot of layers and a lot of mystery. Talented human being with a pen or a typewriter or a keyboard.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, so I'm interested. I did not know much about, or didn't know anything actually about this comic creator until the past 24 hours. So I am interested. Well, anything else we should cover, Mr. C, while my internet tries to figure itself out?
Jim Campbell, always glad to have you along for the ride. Blue Sasquatch, we continue to appreciate your classic, now dare I say, iconic question of, is this live? Feel free to watch me eating hot dogs with the other clowns back on my channel if you want. Blue Sasquatch, or if you're only popping through here, always good. I hope you found your way to a good comic shop yesterday, Blue, and things are good in your neck of the woods, Sasquatch woods, forestry. Okay. This is, as always, I'm having a good time when I'm popping through Fanboy Cantina, and we'll definitely have some future material coming up in the near future.
Awesome. I think I am mostly frozen or digitized in my screen, but if you could still hear me, thank you all for joining. We appreciate you spending a little bit of your Sunday with us. Support your local comic shop, not just on Free Comic Book Day, but throughout the year. Definitely a great place to pick up new adventures and support local small business. So thank you for watching. And if you would like, if you could do us a favor, hit the like and hit the subscribe on this channel, and go to Mr. C Dives In, hit the like and or hit the subscribe button. Check out his new video series on hot dog shops and other stuff. He mentioned the interview that we had with Nicole Hoff, and that was a lot of fun. So please do check out that video.
Future Fanboy content coming up on my show, but go ahead and close us out.
Oh no! Tell us more. Tell us more.
Oh, no, just a general teaser. There'll be more Svengoolie material in the near future coming around on the other, up and down the dial.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.